I'm going to get started. Okay. So, thank you for coming to the session. It means that you really care about connecting with your purpose and identity, and that you want to make sure that you prevent burnout in your career. If you guys could put in the chat like your role, if you're a student, if you're a teacher, if you're a student teacher, like what your role is, so I can get a better idea. Student, if you're teachers, students, um, other educators, anybody else in the house? Awesome, teachers, students. So, okay, well, as you guys tell me what you do, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So this is me. My name is Dr. Julie Pelikhova. My background is I went to actually LA Unified all my life for school, so a public school, you know, product. I think I did really good. I'm very, very, very happy with my education. After that, I went to UCLA and studied sociology was the minor in education. Back in the day, they did not have an education major, but I always knew I wanted to be an educator. I did teach for a couple years in elementary school and then in high school, but I realized for myself that the real connection I had with people or students was in the one-on-one interaction. So I decided to pursue counseling, and I went to LMU afterwards to get my master's in counseling. After a few years of that, I also spent a little bit of time um, coaching. So my other, and somebody said they were watching sports this weekend, but my other like big passion is sports. And I coached for many years, and then I went to get my doctorate degree in educational leadership at UCLA, and I focused on professional development of high school athletic coaches. That's like my other big passion is sports. But what I really, really love is helping people like connect with their purpose and prevent burnout. That's why I wanted to present this workshop for you guys today. So, and then I will go over our agenda. So we have 50 minutes today, so about 45 minutes left. These are the topics I'm going to discuss with you guys. First, we're going to understand what burnout is. Um, if you guys want to throw in the chat or raise your hands, like you felt burnout. Like I have felt this before. Yes, I felt burnout. Okay, we're gonna go through what does it mean, especially for like early career educators. What does it look like, and what are the warning signs? Then we're gonna talk about decision fatigue, which is something that, especially for me in my role now, I'm constantly dealing with because people are asking me questions. I need to make decisions. I need to always be in charge of stuff. So decision fatigue is a number one factor in educators for burnout. Yes, currently, yes, Katie. Me too, girl. Friday. I can't wait. I can't wait. I made a nail appointment today at 4 o'clock. We're gonna talk about that too. How to plan things to recharge yourself. Amazing. And then we're gonna talk about your identity beyond your role. How do we stay humans, right? Who are we beyond the role that we play? So that's super duper important. And then I'll leave you guys with some practical tools and an action plan. How does that sound to everybody? Lovely.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
yes. Sounds good. Okay, let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. Okay. All right. So, sorry, I gotta move this little thing on my screen. Um, okay, burnout. So, this is just some stats, not to scare anybody, but this is from I think the National Education Survey. They did a survey a couple of years ago, and it showed that 44% of new teachers leave within the first 5 years, which is just crazy, right? That means almost half the teachers only stay in their field 5 years and they're out. Why? Another thing is that three times more stress level than other people in the workforce. People think, oh, it's so fun and cute working with kids, but it's not. It is stressful. We have decision fatigue. We are burnt out. It is hard. So we are stressed and likely to leave, which is really sad. So we're going to make sure y'all stay, okay? And 60% report exhaustion by the end of each semester if they're in the classroom. So these are really dramatic facts, and I think these facts just make that for me, it's really validating that I'm not alone, you're not alone, right? This is what's going on. And but good news, you're here. It is all preventable. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more about that. This is the National Education NEA Association did this study, and they also said as of last year, 50% of teachers reported experiencing burnout. So it's like kind of a buzzword. Um, but unfortunately, this is what it means. These are the common stressors that's happening. We have to deal with student behavior. That is at the top of the problem that we feel with burnout. And student behavior means anything from like you working with high school kids who are like giving you an attitude with cell phones, or like little kids who maybe weren't disciplined at home and they come bring it to the classroom. Like whatever's going on is a behavior. And unfortunately, administration oftentimes is putting that on teachers. And that is the number one top driver of burnout with educators. The other thing that's burning us out is low salary. That is depending where you are, to what districts you work in. Some are better than others. So keep that in mind. Like you want to feel like you're getting paid for all the stress that you're going through, right? And so a lot of educators are feeling like the money ain't worth the stress. You know what I mean? Um, so that's what 37% of educators are saying. So keep in mind if you're not in a job yet and you're like about to, look at the salary scale, see where you're at. I know LA Unified just got a raise for new teachers. So that's good. But make sure you keep the value of the work that you're doing in mind. Um, Workload, 33% of educators said that the hours they spend on admin tasks. Oh, was there a question? Is there a question? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm gonna put that on mute. I'll make sure you guys are on mute too. Um, Excessive hours spent on other tasks like what? Testing, grading, emailing parents, maybe like being on committees, right? There's a lot going on. Um, there's a there's a lot of extra tasks always put on teachers. So 76% of teachers experience high level also of emotional exhaustion, which means that like you're carrying the emotional stress of your students, of your peers, of your colleagues. And at the end of the day, like my body's okay, but my mind is just like done. Like I am just drained. And so you're not alone when you're feeling that. But don't worry. I don't want to scare you. I'm going to give you some tools now to prevent those things. Okay. So this is again as a reminder that you are not alone. Okay. So, how do you know? Let's say you are in the classroom where you're going to be and you're like, I think I'm burnt out. How do we know? How do we look at the signs? How do we identify those things before it's too late? So, here are just a couple of signals for you guys to be like, I think I need to like slow down, zoom out, and work on myself. So, emotional exhaustion, when you're just feeling like even if for after a long weekend, you slept, you didn't even leave the house, you rested, you come on Monday and you still feel drained. That is emotional exhaustion. No amount of sleep is helping me feel recharged on Monday. Okay. Another one is detachment and cynicism. This is when you used to love it. You were like, oh my God, first day of school, I'm gonna decorate my classroom, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm so excited to go to work. And then you get to like count down on your board how many days left to break, right? So when we're just getting cynical as opposed to excited about Monday and about a new school year, we're like, how many days till summer break, right? I can tell you every teacher has had a countdown to summer, and it's not because it's fun and it's cute, it's because we are exhausted. Okay. So the cynicism comes when you're looking forward to the ending as opposed to the beginning. And that you're growing distance from the students and colleagues you used to like love and be excited to be work with, and now you're just like annoyed by them, and it's not you, it's the system that's sort of draining you. Okay. Another thing is loss of compassion, where you used to feel like, oh my God, this kid is really struggling. I want to support them. And now you're just like, I've lost compassion. Like, where is your book? Where is your supplies? Like, why are you always late? Right? We're getting frustrated with that because the common struggles that students are going through used to be something that we empathize with, and now we're sort of getting like irritated by them. So that's sort of a sign of burnout as well. um your reduced effectiveness, that means that like even yourself, you're just like, oh my God, I have lessons plans ready and I'm really impactful and like my students are learning, and now you're seeing yourself like not prepare for lessons, just not care, sort of go with the flow, and that used to not be you. So when you sort of see that change in your effectiveness and the preparation you used to be super excited for in the classroom shift, that could also be a sign of burnout. And it's again not you, it's a systematic thing that's happening because of all the overwhelm and the extra duties that we have. Physical symptoms too. I've definitely seen this with teachers as frequent illnesses and pain, physical pain, like neck hurts, back hurts, like they just start experiencing all these things. They're getting sick a lot. It's not because kids have germs, it's because you're so fatigued emotionally that your immune system can't even fight like a common cold. So when you start noticing that, it's like, is something wrong with me? No, I think you're burnt out, And I've had teachers who, were in such toxic environments that when they changed schools to work somewhere else where it was happy, they stopped getting sick. They never took a sick day. They were always feeling great and healthy and slept better. So sometimes your environment is sort of like the trigger for some of those physical ailments and illnesses. So yes, it's the germs from all the kids, and yes, we need to like wipe our desks. But also, when you're emotionally exhausted, it oftentimes contributes to illness and breaking down your immune system. So keep that in mind too. If you're getting sick a lot, it might be a mental health thing and not a physical thing. So keep that in mind as well. And then identity fusion. How many of y'all identify yourself as an educator? And that's what I am. You forget that you're like a daughter, a son, a sister, a brother, a friend, right? Where like, I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher. And your entire identity and worth is tied to your classroom performance. When we're super obsessed with like what we do and we like love the classroom, we sort of forget who we are besides that. That's who you are. Your whole car is full of like school supplies. You spend your whole budget on Amazon for on the all for the kids. Everything's for the kids, right? That also could lead to burnout. So as much as we like love the classroom and the kids, it's really important to have other identities outside of your role as an educator. All right. Any questions about this slide or any other symptoms you've noticed? It's a pretty good comprehensive list. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to move on to our next slide. So, understanding decision fatigue. Okay, guys, decision fatigue is a real thing. Okay, because fatigue happens all the time because especially for educators. And if you're like a parent also, you are triple duty. You are making so many decisions for yourself and for kids that by lunchtime, your like brain is fried. Okay. So here are some tips and tools for you to avoid and understand decision fatigue. Okay. One thing is batching your decisions. So if you know that every morning you like are frantically like scrambling to like make copies and lesson plan and sort things for kids and whatever. What you can do is batch all those decisions together and set up like a block of time that you're doing your weekly lesson plan so that every morning is already set up for you. All your copies are done for the week. So batching it together, maybe like on Friday afternoon, so that Monday you can come and not have to worry about making any decisions because Monday's lessons are done. Okay. Or do something that works for you where it's like the end of the day you plan for the morning or one day a week you plan for the whole week. So batching those things together. Um, setting up emails in response blocks. So if your computer is just like open while you're doing stuff and then you hear the ding 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 and you want to respond all the time, my huge recommendation is first of all turn off the notification noises so because they trigger us and create blocks for yourself where you can check emails not constantly as they come in. So if you say, hey, every hour on the hour at 10, 11, 12, 1, whatever, I'm checking my email only on the hour, everything will be okay. People can wait an hour to get a response, even if it's like an emergency. So keep that as an idea, as like setting up blocks of time when you're responding to emails, or even if it's just like once a day for 30 minutes, you're like, okay, this is my email knockout time. Let's go. And then my other thing is to create like a default. Like now we have AI, so it's so easy. Create like a default response, whether it's a parent or to other teachers or your principal that constantly asks for something. Have like a standardized response instead of thinking about, okay, how do I start this email? Okay, da 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 da, dear parent, or whatever or like you're posting for your students, whatever you're doing, have like a preset template, and that way you're not constantly like making decisions. Okay, how do I start this? What's the format? I've been so into AI. Write this one down, guys. There's an AI that's so good for educators. It's called school but magicschool.ai. It's approved by LAUSD, and I don't know where else y'all are going to be working, but magicschool.ai, I'll put in the chat too. Um, it is like a school approved AI where it literally helps you like do a parent email or like do a lesson plan on some topic, right? It's such a good resource. So write that one down and it can help you create shortcuts and batch sort of like default decisions together. So you already have that preset. Highly recommend. I think it's free with like a school account, but I'm sure there's tools you can play with it too. So it's super good. All right. So the middle one also sort of I mentioned this, the creating defaults and templates. As much as you can do with templates, the better. A template for frequent parent emails. So if you have a kid who's like never doing homework, to have that low homework performance email template ready, right? Or if it's like a kid that's always late kid default email. Just have templates ready so you're not constantly like reinventing the wheel for yourself. Repeat weekly routines so that you're not trying to get creative all the time. And I think, especially for newer educators, you want to keep this no mentality. Like your default is no to things. And when people ask you, like, oh, do you want to be a committee? You can say, like, that sounds really exciting. Let me think about it. Do not automatically say yes because the expectation is there. So setting those boundaries and your default in your head is no. Let me think about it. And then if it's something you want to do, then later on, after giving it some thought and seeing if you have time for it, then you can say yes. Um, and then my favorite is scheduling mental recovery. Okay. Mental recovery is like so, so, so good because, especially on the weekend, or even during the school day, it's so important to protect your brain, like your thinking capacity. So, screen free lunches. When you're eating your lunch, your laptop should be closed and your phone probably away. Just have like eating, like have your brain think about the food and the digestion and the break. Maybe eat with a friend or a colleague, just do phone free, tech free lunches. Because have y'all ever ate lunch in front of your computer or your phone and then been like, what did I just eat? Because you were so distracted and your plate's empty and you're like, where did my food go? Right? That happens to me if I'm on my computer, literally. Like, where did my food just go? Thank you, Katie. Me too. I'm like, what was I doing? If you need to, when you're eating, focus on your food. First of all, it digests better, it's better for digestion, and you actually like check out. Oh my God, especially as a student, like you're like trying to study and respond to texts and do that and the other, and then you're like eating, you're like, my food is gone. Am I hungry? Did I eat? Like, what just happened? So give yourself that time just to like have a tech free lunch. It's so good, especially with a friend or a colleague or a peer, because you can just like chat and laugh and sort of do a mental recovery and reset. Okay. I also love a phone free walk, even if it's to the bathroom. Oh my gosh, yes. I forget meals I ate because I'm so distracted by technology for sure. My guy is my favorite. Phone free walks, even to the bathroom. Make a new habit of not taking your phone to the bathroom. If that is the only brain break you have all day, is the couple times you go to the bathroom, fine, let's start there. Leave your phone. Do not take your phone to the bathroom because you're like walking on your phone. You go in the bathroom, you come out, you're on, right? You don't even give yourself like the 5 minutes to be tech free when you're using the restroom. So try to challenge yourself, like leave your phone, walk to the bathroom. I also like saying pick the furthest bathroom so you also can get a walk out of it. Get a walk out of it, be by yourself for a second, then come back to your technology. And then the other thing I highly recommend is a hard stop time for yourself. So for real, like a start, like for yourself, you're like, okay, I know I'm gonna have to work tonight, and I know to do some homework or do some lesson planning or whatever. But my hard stop for real is like 8:15 or 8:30, and put an alarm. I actually have a setting on my phone, so my phone goes like blocked. I can't use any technology after 9, even if I want to, because I want to be screen free after 9 p.m. So you can even do settings on your phone to like that you can't use any more apps after a certain time. I give yourself a hard stop that you actually keep. And if you have to put some like tech control on it, great. Do what you got to do. Okay. Those are my suggestions for some mental recovery. Anything else on that, guys? Any other ideas of things you could do? I see some in the chat. Well, cats are good. Animals are really good for you guys. Animals are actually a break. They do give you a recharge. That's cute. Okay, awesome. All right, guys, let's talk about identity beyond the classroom. This is so important. As educators, we're obsessed with what we do that it becomes our whole life. Like on Saturday, I have to grade, and on Sunday, I have to lesson plan, and then Monday through Friday, I'm with the students, and you just forget who you are. So it's super important for us to remember as teachers, we have a gazillion other things going on. Okay. We are movers. We go hiking. We go running. We exercise. We are creative, right? Maybe you're cooking in the kitchen. That's my creative outlet. Maybe you like paint or sculpt or something. You're a family member. You're a learner. You're part of the community. Maybe you're like going to like music events in the park or attending different community events like farmers markets or whatever. And you're a friend. You have a gazillion roles outside of being an educator, and you have to like remember to live all those and not drown in this um, most important role in the moment of teacher. So you see the little brain right there where it's like teacher takes over. Um, that's how all of us are because we're really good educators and it's so important to us. But we have to remember all those other things that of who we are and invest time in that as well. So if you guys for a second in the chat throw in what other role is super important to you besides an educator or student? What other roles are super important to you? Maybe it's a mom, maybe it's a yogi, a hiker, a reader, aunt. Yes, me too. I love being an aunt. I have three little nieces. What's jits? A jujitsu? What is that? Oh, yes. What other roles do you guys have? Oh, to lock my phone? Oh, I do all sorts of things, guys. I go to my settings and I go to focus. So you go to settings, focus, and then you actually can put the time where you want it to turn on. So I have it turn on at it goes on to not disturb at 7 p.m. and I have limiting all of my apps at 9 p.m. every day. So it's not an app, it's just like in your if you have an iPhone, you can do that. Uncle, creator. Oh my god, creator, yes. Okay, uncles and aunties representing. I love that. Awesome. Tons of amazing roles we play outside of educators and students. So how do we reconnect? Okay, I want you guys to think about this. Um, Another way to reconnect is to reconnect with your why. Like why, even when you're on the worst, hardest, most drained days, it is so good to reconnect with our purpose. Like, why am I here? Why did I become a teacher? Okay, what moment this week was meaningful to me? A student that needed me today that I was able to help. And what skills, or if you're still a student, what skills am I growing as an educator? Okay. These are things to help you remember, like, this is my why. I'm learning, I'm growing. Oops. Oh no, just kidding. We're not there yet. Um, what skills am I you learning so I can grow as an educator? So I want you guys to take 90 seconds. I'm going to put a little timer on and write down one moment from the past month or maybe the past week. Um, where you knew even briefly that you're exactly where you want to be. So one moment that happened in the last month that reminded you like, you know what, I'm exactly where I want to be. Okay, I'm going to put a timer on and let's take 90 seconds to answer that, okay? Okay, I'm going to keep the timer here so y'all can see. So 90 seconds, one moment. You guys can share in the chat, write down for yourself a moment that even briefly reminded you that you are exactly where you need to be. Ah, Nicole, I love that. Yes. Okay, 30 more seconds if you can share a moment in the last month where you really realize I'm exactly where I am supposed to be. All right, about 10 more seconds. I will share mine. I don't think I mentioned to you guys, I'm a professor at UCLA, so I teach in the School of Education, the Masters of Transformative Coaching and Leadership. And my moment was a student after class came to me and said, I want to thank you so much. And can I give you a hug? And they just gave me a hug and it was just the cutest thing. And I felt like, wow, I'm really where I'm supposed to be right now. Like they asked for a hug and they just wanted to thank me for a good class, which, happens here and there, but I really felt it was genuine and authentic. And I was like, yeah, even though I'm tired and it's late, um, I made a difference to that student today. And something that I said, I don't know what I said, but resonated with them that they wanted to thank me after class. So it was amazing. Oh my gosh, mentee. Gosh, being a mentor is so good. You met with your mentee. It's so good. Yes. Um, okay, dual counselor. Oh, you guys, getting like some positive feedback is so rewarding and makes you really helps you realize like and connect with your why. Like I'm supposed to be here. If you're struggling, you're in the right place. I'm gonna give you guys some ideas, okay? For sure. But there are definitely moments that are gonna remind you throughout your career that are these like aha moments like every day must every day isn't great, but there's great moments in every day is like my favorite quote. It's I don't know if it's a quote, but I love thinking like every day is not great, but there's greatness in every day. So look for those moments. And when they happen, pause and reflect, be like, okay, that was my aha moment. It just happened. You know what I mean? So keep those in mind. I'll give you guys some other ideas on the next slide. Okay. All right. So let's talk about managing our energy. I call them um, drainers, and then we have energy givers. So we have drainers and givers. Some drainers that drain most of our energy is like constant emails, notifications, dinging, all the noises going on all the time. Okay, that's a big drainer. That's why I like to control them. I like turn the sound off on most of my notifications because the notification alone gives me stress. Um, Taking on tasks outside your capacity. So you will be asked to do other things because you're like, oh, you're the new teacher. Oh, you're so great. The kids love you. Can you do this like after school activity with them? Right. And so they give you a compliment to try to get you to do extra stuff. But that's just going to drain you because it's a task outside your capacity. Not having boundaries when you bring all your work computer home, when you're studying on your bed, there is no boundary between work and home. I have a very strict rule. There is no work in my bedroom. So maybe on the couch, I can have my laptop, but it never goes to the bed with me. That is a hard boundary for me. In fact, my work computer never even leaves my office. And then my home computer, where I do like grading and stuff for my UCLA students, does not leave the living room. So clear boundaries. Okay. Another big drainer is like there's policy change, administrators change. Like, oh, I came to the school and I love the principal. And then now they have a whole new administration and it's just like, what the heck just happened? Right. It just throws everything off for us. So that is a big drainer. Um, Comparing yourself to others, that is such a drainer, like such a waste of time. Like you are in your own lane, or you can only be the best version of yourself today. I think it's awesome to have mentors or veterans in the field that you're in, but not you to compare yourself because they are in chapter 4 and you're in chapter 1 or whatever. So it's really important to stay in your own lane, write your own book and your own journey, and not compare. And then compassion fatigue. Educators, our number one value is like compassion and helping people. When you help people and you give, you drain. And compassion fatigue is real. Like caring too much is real. It is a drainer. Caring is good, but caring too much is going to drain you. So keep those things in mind. Is there anything else, guys, that drains your energy? You want to throw in the chat anything else that drains our energy? What is draining us these days?
Um, a drainer can be when you having peace of mind and someone calls you, and then you listen to them, and then you can't get a word out. When you get
Oh,
ready to speak, they just hollering and screaming all over the place, and you can't say nothing. Then you have to be patient and go in and say, "Excuse me, I listened to everything that you said, but you are not allowing me to speak." I don't like that. I'm patient and taking in all your toxicity, but then I'm remaining positive throughout that session, but you're constantly screaming, hollering, and talking and won't let me speak. I don't like that.
I love that. That is real. That is real. When people do all the talking and no listening and they drain your energy. I literally have a list of people who are my energy drainers. I didn't put their names on here because I don't put them on blast, but I know exactly what you mean. Everything is going good. Then they walk in or they call you or they're in the room and they just da 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 da, and you're just like you can feel the energy draining in you. Other people. But my advice for that when the other people are the drainers, you don't give them any of your energy. So you keep your batteries full and you don't let them drain it. You're just like, drain your own energy by talking, but you're not going to drain mine. Okay. And I always say you can only control what you can control. I can control your mouth, but I can control my reaction. So I can be annoyed by it, or I can just be like, man, sucks to be you. You don't know, you have no social skills, right? So remember, can only control what you can control.
I
What else?
I agree with that, but then I take those. I always have to be the one to take a negative and turn to a positive by letting them know, because I'm not a person that suppress my true feelings. I listen, but I notice and I'm very observant. And then once I said that, then the balance came in. I always have to bring a balance. So like I
Oh, I
said.
love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I always have to bring a balance. So, I noticed that, and like one of the things was overextending and caring about people and doing what you have to do. But I had to learn that. It took time. I'm coming to the place. You said, how do we know where we supposed to be? I'm learning that, and at the end of the day, I haven't had a chance to be a drainer, but I've been drained. So now I'm taking the time for me. Thank you for your time.
I love that. Thank you for sure. But I love balance. I'm a Libra, so balance is big for me too. But no, I try to brush it off as much as I can. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. A lot of people get on my nerves, and I ran out of nerves so you gotta just let those people fly sometimes, and hope to find balance. There's someone in the chat. I like the question, or the comment when a person tries to micromanage. Oh my gosh, micromanagement is like my biggest pet peeve. Yes, me too. Um, it's important to have boundaries, but you can't. I know. I work in the school system too, and I got people micromanaging, but they are the ones doing my evaluation, so I got to play it cool. Um, I just keep it pushing, just got to keep it pushing. And if it is draining you, guess what, guys? We have what is gonna give you energy. So, what are energy chargers? What is charging us? So, even though those things are draining and we can't get rid of them, they're going to be there. What can we do to sort of like balance it? Like Dell said, what are we going to do to balance it to give ourselves some battery back? Okay. So, here's some ideas. The number one thing I've heard people say, and I've done these things a lot with teachers, I've done this with nurses, a bunch of people who are in helping professions, and people get energy from people. We are helpers, so we love people. Connection with colleagues and students. We came into this to work with people, right? So when you have a good connection, have a good friend at work or students who like really give you joy, remind you of your why, that is going to really charge your battery. Okay. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I love checking things off a list. I love it. So that's going to really be like, you know what, let me get something done and get it off my desk because it's going to give me energy to be like, okay, it's done, right? Submitting that homework assignment or like submitting the task or just clicking send on something you've been working on, just being done and checking it off the list. I love making a list. I'm sure some of y'all do too. And I love checking them off. It's like, oh, let me get my highlighter and check it with a pink highlighter because it's done. So that's really good. I also love to make time to set clear goals for my day and for my week. So before I even open my email or open my computer, I take a little post-it or a little notepad and I write, okay, what are two things I have to get done today and everything else? Like if I get it done, great. If not, whatever. But these are my top two priorities that have to get done this day or this week. So clear goals, not just like, okay, let's open my computer and see what I left left last night so I can keep going, right? Before you open it, you write down what's on top of mind and is important to you, and then open up your computer again. Because we open it and there's all these tabs we had left open from the night before. You're just like, I don't even know where to start. So back up, zoom out, and start your day with your own clear goals. We also get lots of energy from recognition, from giving and receiving. So if you mentioned, a few people in the chat mentioned getting like positive reinforcement from your mentees for your mentorship, that feels good. That has a energy um, giver, but also giving recognition makes us feel good about ourselves. So if you're like have a colleague or a classmate, you're gonna be like, you know what, I love what you said today in class. Like I really appreciate you being in my circle because it's helping me get through the stuff. I don't feel like I'm alone. Thank you so much for being you and like being part of this journey with me. Giving somebody recognition is also an energy giver to yourself because it makes you feel good to make others feel good. So try that today. Maybe give a compliment to somebody or say thank you to a classmate or colleague that supports you. We also love movement. Yes, moving our body. Like I said, go to the furthest bathroom, go outside, get some fresh air, get off technology. Those are like my favorite go-tos for sure. Um, I think someone said meditation and breathing. Yes, I meditate. Every day I have like an app, the app that I do love for this. It's called Insight Timer. Insight Timer, it's free and it has like meditation for sleep, for morning, for gratitude. It has it for like during the workday. You can do like a lunch meditation. You can do a driving meditation. You can do all sorts of them. So Insight Timer is my favorite app. I'm on a streak, guys. I'm at 380 days streak. So I love doing that kind of stuff, especially in the morning where I know it's about to be a day. I'm like, okay, let me just do a quick 5 minute like gratitude meditation and then keep going. Okay, so I love that. And then peer support and having honest conversations. So finding your peoples, right? Finding peers where you can be like, where you can vent with them, you can talk to them, that you have your people that understand you and you can have some honest conversations with them. That's super duper important. Okay. Anything else, guys, that gives you energy? What else? What else is giving us giving? What is giving energy? Spending time with our loved ones. Yes, just getting out there. Okay, anything else in the chat? Dance. Oh my God, I love dancing. Yes. A little dance break. I love stretching, moving, dancing, all the things. Amazing. Okay, so I want to remind you guys of this whole person framework to have a sustainable teaching life. Okay, whole person. You are a whole person. You have emotions, you have intellect, you have a physical body, we have a social community, and we have purpose. These are the five pillars of a whole person. Remember who you are. It's so, so important that we remember to have supportive relationships in our emotions, that we have compassion for ourselves, give ourselves grace, that we express how we feel, and we have healthy emotional or not even healthy, I would say strong emotional intelligence, and we can target things that we as we see them. So if you feel like some of those burnout symptoms, you know how to notice them and address them. Okay. Intellectual, it's important no matter what, even if you're like, I'm also over school. When I'm done, I'm done. um Curiosity and professional growth and things that excite you is super important, even if it's like learning a new language or like listening to podcasts. Having intellectual stimulation is so good for mental health and to support you as a whole person. Physical movement is so important, especially if you're like behind a computer all day or sitting all day. Like move, get outside, breathe. I think most of you guys are in California, so we have all the opportunities to have great weather and hiking and all that, but the beach, moving, and also drinking water. This is my second big bottle, guys. Drink your water, stay hydrated. My first year as a teacher, it was like 1,000 years ago, 2004. I used to get like um stones and all these like bladder issues. I was too scared to leave my classroom. And not scared, but I was like busy. Don't do it. Go to the bathroom, drink your water, eat. Don't forget to eat. Okay. Physical is so important. Social is important. Connecting with your community beyond the classroom. Like meet friends next door. Go to happy hour with your coworkers or your classmates. Like get out. Don't, oh, I have homework to do. Okay, let's do homework together. Let's go to a coffee shop together. I have grading to do. Great. You want to grade with me? Let's go to a coffee shop together. Um, all the things. Okay. So keep that in mind, guys, to keep all these things at the top of your list, right? The emotional, intellectual, physical, social, and purpose. My favorite thing is purpose is that you, anytime you feel like, why am I doing this? Come back to your why. Like, why did I do this? And look for those moments like we did earlier of that remind you of your why. Pause and write it down or journal about it, be like, that was a moment. Okay, that was the moment, reminded me of my why, share it with a friend and keep it going because those moments are going to happen. This is like the best career on the planet where you're going to get those moments. So I love that. Beach walks. Oh my God. If there wasn't as much traffic to get to the beach, I'd be at the beach all the time. But the traffic to the beach gives me stress. And then I get there and I'm like, okay, energy back. But yes, we love that. Okay, cool. So, three tools I want to leave you with that you can start today. These are just ideas. You don't have to do all of them, but just some ideas for you guys. There are small, consistent habits that you guys can start with. Is one is to do a 5 minute gratitude. So, in the morning, either journal or text it to yourself or whatever works for you. One thing I'm grateful for, one thing I'm grateful I get to teach, one student I'm intentionally connecting with, or something I'm proud of from yesterday. So if you start in the morning with gratitude, it primes your brain to be feel connected instead of surviving. So Friday, you're like, oh my God, I made it to Friday. No, like I'm so excited. I'm so connected with all these people Monday through Thursday. And I had a great week connecting with Nicole. And I'm so excited that I got to go to this like workshop. I'm so grateful that I had an opportunity to learn something new today with my colleagues, right? So you're priming your brain for connection right away when you start with gratitude. And I do love the app. So if you guys want to do like a gratitude meditation, even better. Another one is the identity inventory. Remind yourself once a week, who am I beyond a teacher? Okay. And if schedule at least one activity outside of your role. It could be hiking or brunching or go to the movies, but schedule at least one thing a week. And you think, oh, 1 week is easy. It's not. When you're like deep in the thick of it, you just want to sleep on the weekend, do nothing, but do something. Doing something is not going to drain you. Doing something that you love is going to give you energy. Okay. So keep that in mind. You want to have something to look forward to on the weekend that's outside of your role as an educator. And then a recovery protocol. You these are some daily things that you can do. Like one of the things I always do is when I get home from work, I always change my clothes from like work clothes to home clothes. The work clothes stays in its own category, and now I'm in like chill clothes. Even if I'm going to do some other work, just change. It's a physical cue to your body that work is done, and now it's you time. Um, Phone free walk. I love this too. Is like when you're going from the office or from classrooms or whatever to your car, we're like this checking. Put your phone away in your bag and walk to your car without a phone. I know I'm asking for a lot, but just try it. It's totally a great strategy and super duper easy. And then three grounding breaths when you get into your car. So when I get in my car and everything's like this, I pause. I'm like 3 times, and then we go, right? Sort of like a little reset for yourself and your body that we're changing situations from school to from work, whatever, to the next thing. Okay. Oops. Okay. This is my commitment plan for y'all. Okay, these are some commitments. I want you guys, we only have a couple minutes left to think about one thing that you're going to start doing based on all the ideas I gave you. What is one thing you're going to start doing? And then also, I want you to put one person that you are going to check in with. So, one more person and a person you're going to check in with. One thing I want to start doing, um, and then one person I want to check in with that's going to like feed my energy and give me energy. So, one thing you want to start doing this week that's not teacher related. Maybe you'd be like phone free walks to the car, eating with no technology, maybe schedule brunch this weekend. One thing you're going to start doing. And then a person that you're going to check in with that's going to give you some energy. Breathe. Yes, breathing, giving gratitude, 5 minute meditation. With sisters, the bestie sisters, whatever, our nieces or nephews, all my aunties and uncles. Oh my God. Walk through the rose garden and like with no phone and just like look at roses and not take a picture. I challenge you to not take a photo at the rose garden. Just keep your phone away. It's so hard because it's so pretty. I love that, guys. Yes. Amazing. Okay. Well, this is my takeaway for y'all. You chose this profession for a reason. Now protect it for the same reason. Okay. Everything, all the burnout is preventable. You're not alone. Other people are feeling it too. Okay. So remember to protect your identity. It's bigger than the role that you're going to play. And if you ever forget, come back to your why, recover daily, and remember it's a lifetime. So keep going. It's a lifetime. Of working on ourselves, reminding ourselves who we are and having fun with it. Okay. And happy Teacher Appreciation Week. I think they're still giving out free stuff. I think like Chipotle, Coffee Bean. Look on Instagram. There's like a list of places. Um, but thank you so much. If you guys want to follow me, I do have an Instagram. It's like really positive. It's like on burnout prevention, awesome mental health stuff. So I do have an Instagram, and my email's here. So I'd love to connect with you all after this, and stay in touch. So thank you again so much for signing up for this workshop, and coming to this event. And then, um, have an amazing weekend.